Well friends, here we go again. Ding dong, ding dong. The bells are ringing. Today very interesting. Not a versus video. No, not a versus video. We compare two balls but with no winner. We are here first of all at most rings court, you know. The most rings in town are here. 5 rings. Court which I know for a very long time. Played here over 25 years ago. I played here, you know, in the late 90s. And yeah, since then it existed, but it changed a lot. Here was football, now there is a house. There was an old people's house still, but it was smaller. I was in there and watched to the basketball, and but still a cool place, you know. The thing is, a lot of sand in, you know, here to run, always a bit risky, you know. But we have 2 balls and that I will show you now. So here we have them, you know, here. Spalding Neverflat ball, you see. We played this ball a lot of times, and also this ball we played a lot of times, and that is a ball which is in our rankings. If you don't know my videos, I made a few years back a top ranking from my balls back then, and since then, almost 2 years ago, I have not made a new ranking. Back then I had 31 basketballs around, now I have almost 80, and that was in the ranking. This is the Molten BG3800. The last video was the new version, the 3850 with the new beveling, and there is the old beveling in. And this ball was in my rankings low, you know, but only as one reason, because as the side of a street ball and not as an indoor player. When you're an indoor player, this ball will be good, you know, because you use maybe this ball or a higher league of those versions in your tournaments. And my ranking, you know, is still, when I see it, correct, because it took me over 1 year to make this ranking, to play. Only this ball you could rank a bit higher, but still I go with my ranking, and now we compare them, you know. So this is the old version, more slippery, you see. That ball I cannot hold like the new version, yeah. And this is the Neverflat series. If you don't know what Neverflat is, nowadays it is not popular anymore. I think, I don't know in the US, but there was a time where this ball was very popular. Why? So there exists a lot of models, you know. This is the Neverflat Elite, you know. There exists the Pro, the Max and the Hex. I don't know why, maybe they thought they will sell a lot of balls. That is the most expensive one. Neverflat means there is no valve, you know. Of course there's a valve, but it is closed, you see that? And that means they say, or they guarantee you, that the air stays in the ball and it will not get out. And this is only closed. You can open it up and then you can pump air in like on normal balls. But the problem is, if you open this tool up, you know, then the guarantee is over. For 1 year the guarantee is over. And my concerns were, you see, also made in Vietnam. Come to this, and this ball is made in Thailand. You see, here in Thailand, very good made, you know, Thailand. But also this ball. And my concern, my problems was, you never know how long this ball stays in a shop. If this ball stays 1 year in a shop and then you buy it, and they guarantee 1 year, but then the ball, you know, is 1 year in the shop and then you have it 1 year, and then it can be that the air is out. And I read a lot of reviews where people told, boy, it was deflated in the shop, the air was out, and then what to do, you know, you lost your guarantee. Or here by us, what shall I do? So, shall I send it back to the US or wherever, you know? And I think when you have this ball in a shop, you know, and hundreds of people go over it, or kids, and then they open it up, because by mine it was also standing above, and I didn't know is this correct or not, but I don't want it to do something, because then I thought I lose my guarantee. But then I pressed it in and then it was good, you know. And so you never know if they in the shop have opened it up and then the air can go out. But by my ball, I tell you, it is still hard. The air is really completely in. That I can guarantee you by my ball. You have here beveling in the lines. Has a nice feeling. I'm a fan of it. A bit the other construction, so a little bit like a DF1000. Here like the other balls, you see, with that. And I think in a Spalding Advanced Grip Control has also such lines, you know, you see that. But feels good. Barcode is on, what we don't need, you know. And here the barcode is excellent because they have integrated it in the beveling, you know. There is no hole. That is good, you know, when they make something like a Molten boys. FIFA approved, valid through 2023, my version, then you know I have this ball longer. Now we make the jumping tests and then I play both of them. And then I can say not a winner because that is too early. But I can say how does it feel today on the same day, because important, same conditions, same quality, if you are fresh or tired, what feeling you have today, if you are sweating or not, if there is dust on, same conditions, and then we will see the difference, and that I will tell you. And now we make the jumping test. Which ball does jump higher? You know, you see that now. Even this ball where they say you cannot bump it up, I have never bumped it up, you know. I have it, I don't know, 1 year now, never bumped it up, jumps higher than this ball. It's a lot of area. Of course I could put in a bit more, but it is area. That was my problem. When the temperatures get colder, then I have to watch my bicycle. When the temperatures get lower, this ball was always a low jumping ball to me, you know. But now we play. See? And I've forgotten something, the sound. If you don't know that, the Neverflat balls, because of that, they have a complete own sound than any other ball, and that can be annoying. I guarantee you, most of the times when you show up with this ball and the others have other balls and you will play a game and say, hey, we use this ball, and they have never played such a ball and don't know it, they will say, put away this ball, because of the sound. Listen here, normal sound. Here, and now listen that. You hear? That is like a tennis racket without a vibration. When you play tennis, then you know this bang, bang. You know, and that can be annoying, but I tell you, when you play it a few minutes, then you don't hear that sound anymore. So to me, I had never a problem. But that we have to mention, and now we play it. We start with the Neverflat. Now watch, now we have a scratch and you see that? A real scratch. I don't know from what they skim now. From where? There was nothing sharp. Strange, you see that? Maybe from the board or such a thing. So, now a few boys with the Molten. We go on with the Molten. Spalding again. So my friends, now I have played the balls now a little bit longer beside the camera, you know, and now I tell you something. So here we have the Spalding, here we have the Molten ball. We go to the sun. So from the grip I will show you that. Today I cannot hold it, you know, that ball has really no grip to my hands, you know, no chance, you see, now after the playing, no chance. This ball is a bit better, you know, but also not the best, you know, but now I can also not hold it, but before this ball a little bit is not, you know, but that was always so. this ball, the sound, you know, maybe you hear it. Sound. This ball. You hear that bang, bang, bang. That can be annoying, you know. If you don't know that, that is really, you have to ignore it, you know. Or you are so open up that you say it doesn't matter to me. That is really experimental, you know. So from the quality, I go with this ball, made in Thailand. All is nice. The valve is good, you know. The barcode here also good, you know. But the valve was by me a little bit over. I pressed it in. Now it is perfect. But here we have this barcode, you know. There's also babbling in, you know. It's an expensive ball. But still, this barcode we don't need. The difference is, this has also channels, but it feels more like a flatter ball, you know. Here you have complete all channel design, and that you feel. You see how bright it is, also how the width of the lines is very big, you know, and that you feel. So you have a good feeling control. Also there is babbling in, and that helps you. That you feel by throwing and on. But I tell you, from the throwing today, the better quality of the basketball by throwing, by playing, in my opinion, was today this ball, you know. And I cannot tell you really there by this ball. I have to think if I will put it in the new rankings higher on. But you know, I compared it as a street ball, and my only problem was it jumped so low and it had no grip back then when I made the rankings. But the jumping, both were lower. This was more lower, you know. But today it was not that problem to me, you know. It was still okay. Bit higher would be better. Here you have really the channels and that you feel. But again, throwing was this better. Also by the bouncing today, here I felt that it was not straight. Here you really felt it. Here it was not that problem. That ball felt more straight down. The dribbling was more consistent, you know. That you feel the difference. These are the things what was to me. And by this ball, I don't know, you know. I told the story, will you compare it to the new version, or will you compare this ball and the new version as complete different balls, you know. That is so a thing, and I don't know which ball will be better. The new version, I played it now, you know. I've seen it the last days, or the old version, you know. But today this ball was really good, and as an indoor player, that I always told, this ball is a version for you, also the new version. Because when you are used to molten balls, then this is a great training ball, and I think also for indoor, not only for outdoor. And yeah, this ball I have really to rate maybe higher, you know. But I have to see it. But yeah, there you have to be open-minded. And this is a quality ball, especially when you are used to molten balls. When you are not used to molten balls, then you will also have a problem with the channel design. But both are good, you know. But for sure they are not for everyone. But this ball will fit in for more people, I would say. And for sure, when you come from indoor playing, 100% this ball, you know, and not this. 100% this. And that is what I can say today, you know. But yeah, it was a nice session from most rings court, you know. Yeah, and now we will see us again at the other place. And then one day we have new rankings, and then we make real comparisons, you know. The versus video, and then after so many playings, hundreds of playings, then I can make a new ranking, and that is important, because then I can say to myself, I tested it so much, so often, so long, on so many different courts, rubber courts, rough ones, smooth ones. That is a smoother one, you know, but there is a lot of sand in. On asphalts and grass and unnatural grass and on and on and on, you know. And then I can really say I have done all what was needed to say this ranking to me is correct, you know. But that we will see. So until next time, bye and ciao.
And I always do it big because I can.